Hello and welcome to the BSR Kia Club Series rounds 5 and 6 from the Okayama International Circuit here live on Apex Racing TV, and of course it's in association with Club 73 Karting and XL Designs. I'm Paul Smith, alongside me is Dan Blake, and before we get to the action, just quickly go through the championship standings as they are at the moment, and starting with the Drivers' Championship. After 4 rounds, Magic Sakovic still with the championship lead of 25 points over John Richardson. Neil Bamber in 3rd place after some good results last week. Adam Gosling doing well to keep it in 4th place, with Liam Atkins in 5th place. Only 55 points covering those top 5. Then there's a little bit of a gap to Pete Harrod in 6th, with Michael Hall, the 2 times winner so far this season, in 7th place. Clinton Bell in 8th, with Hyo Chan Lee in 9th, one of our other race winners. Matt Bunn in 10th place there, rounding out your top 10, and just have a look at the rest of the championship standings there. Some notable names: Benjamin Hackerson, really not scoring many points to start with, but he'll be hoping for a good round this time. Chaz Draycott, the series organiser, he's struggling as well, but he will be hoping for some good points this week. And in the teams championships, well, it's Fail Race still dominating that championship at the moment, after Liam Atkins won in the 2nd race last week at Silverstone, with Chaotic Racing in 2nd. 3rd place is Club 73 with ARF in 4th. Gombrok Racing are in 5th place, with Powerslide in 6th. Only 2 points covering ARF, Gombrok Racing and Powerslide Motorsports. So those 3 really trying to push on for that championship. And Right Motorsports in 7th place, with Team Superior in 8th. Team Eyeglazing in 9th, with Half-Baked Racing in 10th, and Team Mad just languishing behind a little bit in 11th place. And, well, we are just currently coming to the end of qualifying, and Dan, we've had a good first 4 rounds of the championship at Brands Hatch and at Silverstone, but this time Okayama, it's a bit of a different challenge here.
Yeah, Okayama, very different to Silverstone and Brands, where he started the season over in Japan, and I think it is another test, you say, for these drivers. We've got another big field again, and over 30 cars, so let's have a look at that one. Yeah, we've got 34 cars that entered the race, so the first lap again will be quite fraught, I think, as per usual, but the first race, they seem to settle down a bit better than the second one, and it'd be good to see the battles all throughout the field.
Yeah, so we're just finishing out qualifying at the moment. Ben Hackerson is currently on pole by just under 0.3 of a second, so he's looking strong for this first race pole position. But this Okayama circuit, it's got tight and twisty sections, but it's also got a fast back straightaway as well, which presents a good overtaking opportunity into the hairpin.
Yeah, that hairpin down, the hairpin corner 1, which we see throughout iRacing in all different series, can produce some good racing. Obviously, this is one of the rookie tracks as well, so all the drivers would have had some experience on this track before. Would be one of the ones they've seen a bit more of than others, so that might help as well with the racing. But yeah, the hairpin, you've also got the Redmond corner as well. That can be an interesting opportunity if you're brave. And so there's a few little opportunities there, but definitely coming off Atwood curve onto that big straight is where you can lose and gain a lot of momentum, because that straight is a massive one at that.
So, as I say, we're coming to the end of qualifying here. Just a couple more people maybe on laps at the moment. And, well, it's currently Ben Hackerson who is on pole, but Pete Harrod is still out on a lap, along with John Richardson. So those 2 trying to get that last lap in now, as Pete Harrod coming through into the final corner here. Will he be able to improve his lap time? He's currently on a 1:34.0. He's aborting it. So John Richardson, he's aborted it as well. So we can go through your starting grid, and it is Benjamin Hackerson in pole position. And, well, he'll be hoping for a better start than that jump start at Brands Hatch, with Roy Viverke in 2nd place. So that's a front row. Then you've got Matt Bunn and Philip Johansson. That's going to be an interesting battle between those 2 on the 2nd row. The 3rd row, it's Michael Hall, Matt Bunn's teammate, and 2 times first race winner in these 2 rounds that we've had, 2 race meetings that we've had so far, along with Ian Roskell in 6th place, with Chaz Draycott in 7th place. Maciej Sakovic, the current series lead champion and the leader of this season, down in 8th place, so he'll be hoping to just get some good points today. 9th place, Pete Harrod with John Richardson in 10th. Adam Gosling, I know he's got a fan club on our YouTube channel. He's in 11th with Hyo-chan Lee, one of our other race winners, in 12th. And well, as we're getting ready for this race, Dan, what are you expecting into this first lap?
I think it's going to be interesting. Obviously, surprised Michael Hall is so far down as he is at the moment in 5th place. He's usually seem a little bit higher than that, so I think Michael Hall will try and make some moves, but hopefully Benjamin Hackerson doesn't jump the start this time. But I think we could be in for quite a juicy first lap, especially with like Magic down in 8th as well. It's a bit lower than we expected him as well, so there'll be a couple of guys fighting their way through, I think, on that first couple of laps.
So we're just waiting for the last couple of cars to grid up, and it's good to see Roy Ververke on the front row. He's putting in some good times recently, so he'll be hoping for a good race. Just waiting for the last 2 people to join the grid now. Alex Bristow, just waiting for him to join up here as we're getting ready for this race. It's 20 minutes, as all the races are, 20 minutes long, and we're getting ready now with the lights about to turn red. The drivers there waiting, the revs rise, and the green light is on, and away we go in this Kia Club Series race. And we've got somebody who hasn't got away. That's Pete Harrod, who didn't get away well. But somebody who has got away well is Ben Hackerson. He's into the lead with Matt Bunn around the outside of...
contact there. Michael Hall into the back of Roy Ververke.
Yeah, so Matt Bunn has made it past Ververke into that 2nd place. Ververke 3rd with the Club 73 driver Philip Johansson looking down the inside. He's moving up to 3rd now, and it's Maciej Sakovic now who's next behind Roy Ververke. So not a good start for Ververke, who loses another place. Chaz Draycott making the move forward as well on Michael Hall. Michael Hall's dropping back at this start as well, so he's struggling away. He's got John Richardson with him there now as we go down the back straight, and it's pretty much a clean start so far, just a little bit of contact to start with.
A little bit of contact. Unfortunately, it looks like Ian Roskell's had some technical difficulties as well, so that's put him right down. He's not even on the track at the moment, but round the outside, Michael Hall goes of Chaz Draycott, so that's another position back for Michael Hall. But at the front at the moment, as we say, it looks like Benjamin Hackerson starting to try and pull away a little bit of a gap to Matthew Bunn. Then it's Philip Johansson and Maciej Sakovic started 8th, a great first lap, seeing him up to 4th already. I said he might make the moves, and he has done.
So yeah, Ben Hackerson, who was 0.3 of a second faster than the 2nd place man on the grid, so he's trying to get the foot down and pull away a gap to then just be able to control the race. And as you say, it is Matt Bunn in 2nd place with Philip Johansson 3rd, Maciej Sakovic 4th, Roy Ververke 5th with Michael Hall in 6th. Chaz Draycott, though, right in the slipstream of Michael Hall at the moment. He's going to have a look down the inside going into turn 1. Can he make this move stick? No, he's just going to hang back for the time being. Is Chaz Draycott. John Richardson in 8th place, Hyo-chan Lee in 9th with Adam Gosling in 10th. Neil Bamber is in 11th, Liam Atkins 12th, and well, there's battles once again all the way down the field. Pete Harrod, though, just an awful getaway there. He's gone from 9th on the grid down to 16th on that first lap.
He really struggled to get away there, but just side by side behind us, Tristan Bodis and Marcus Hagman. Hagman's going to have the inside line take the position, but also Neil Rocks, you saw him in all the action as well at Silverstone, and also Clinton Bell, who's a bit further down the grid than you expect. He's just made a move on one of the mad cars, and that's Jim Flanagan.
Yeah, Clinton Bell fell down on that first lap. He started in 15th, fell down to 21st, and is still in 21st now, but with Jim Flanagan looking down the inside of him into that hairpin. We said it was an overtaking opportunity, and Jim Flanagan is taking that opportunity with Trevor Blackburn, his teammate, trying to look to go past Clinton Bell.
Yeah, Team Marby looking to get some more points because they've had a really tough first couple of meetings, but Clinton Bell and a lot from Trevor Blackburn, and you've got Jim Flanagan ahead. And at the front, so we'll look and see what's going on. I don't think there's been much change there. We could still
Chaz
got the car.
Draycott, look at this battle here with Chaz Draycott, Roy Ververke, John Richardson, and Haya Chan Lee. That's a really intense battle, side by side. Behind them, it's Haya Chan Lee side by side now, and it looks like it is Gosling going onto the gravel. He's not going to get a good run there. Neil Bamber now trying to look to make that move because he'll have got a better run out of that final corner. But Adam Gosling is looking busy. He's trying to get past. Neil Bamber trying to get past Adam Gosling, who's just got a little bit of damage on that bonnet of Gosling's behind them. Liam Atkins and Alec Bristow, they're battling it out between those two. They were side by side for a moment there. Bristow running wide over the gravel. So. It was Liam Atkins running wide, and that's giving Bristow the chance to have a look down the inside. Maybe he's going to make a late lunge. Bristow down the inside of Liam Atkins, our race 2 winner from last week at Silverstone. He's fallen down a position now, so he's down to 13th, and Alex Bristow up to 12th.
Alex Bristow up to top. We saw him using his bumper quite a bit last week, but that was a very clean move there from Alex Bristow to take that 12th place, although I don't think Atkins is going to quite let him get away with that.
In front. And Roy Ververke is off, and so too is Chaz Draycott. So something's happened there. We'll try and find out what happened there for you.
It looks like Roy's gone into the back of Chaz, unfortunately, breaking for the hairpin. Oh, it's a bit of a massive bit of contact there. But luckily both cars continue, but I think that's Roy Ververke just not slowing down quick enough.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit late onto the brakes, and Ververke just catching the back of Chaz Draycott's car. So Draycott now down to 10th place behind Bamber and Gosling. And, well, it's once again... we've got an absolute masterclass at the front. 1.8 seconds. Ben Hackerson leads over Matt Bunn, who is coming under increasing pressure from Philip Johansson behind him, with Maciej Sakovic in 4th place, just calmly, quietly catching up to these two who are battling away. So that's going to be one to watch, with Michael Hall in 5th place. But as we say, this battle for 6th place, you've got John Richardson at the head of it, with Hyo Chan Lee in 7th place, Adam Gosling in 8th, Neil Bamber in 9th, Chaz Draycott in 10th, with Alec Bristow and Liam Atkins there as well. James Leggett at the back of that group as well. So a group of 6 or 7 cars there, all battling it out for that 6th place.
And a bit of contact between Bunn and Johansson as they came out of the last corner before they go onto the straight. That is the corner up at Atwood Curve. So Johansson on the inside for the hairpin. You've got Matthew Bunn on the outside, nearly coming together there. And Maciej Sakovic, we see this in front of him. He might be a little bit nervous because he's also got Michael Hall catching very fast as well in the other chaotic car.
Michael Hall has caught up about second and a half, on this lap on the back of Maciej Sakovic. So an incredible drive here, and obviously Johansson and Bunn battling away, slowing down Maciej, and that's giving him the opportunity as Johansson now just trying to pull away from Matt Bunn. Through the hairpins there. It's really tight through those 2 corners, but you can go side by side and make a move stick through there. And now through these medium speed last 2 corners onto that pit straight, and it is still Ben Hackerson in the lead of this race. But this battle for the podium places, Johansson in 2nd, with Bunn in 3rd, and Maciej Sakovic in 4th, and Michael Hall 5th.
And all this is Benjamin Hackerson will be liking this. He's able to pull away from Johansson, Bunn, Sakovic and Hall at the moment. And
Bristow making a move on Chaz Draycott. Sorry, Dan. He's made the move down into the first corner, so that's got him up a place now, up into 10th place for Bristow, although Chaz Draycott is not giving this one up. He's trying to hold it on round the outside. Liam Atkins behind is trying to follow Bristow through, but can't quite do it. But now Chaz Draycott looking to outbrake Bristow into this hairpin, but not quite able to do it. Can he get the better run out of this hairpin to get the slipstream? But Liam Atkins looks to be busy. He looks to be trying to make the move on Chaz Draycott now. As Liam Atkins, Draycott going defensive earlier on, or is he trying to attack Bristow down into this hairpin?
I think he's trying to defend because Liam Atkins got a better run of Atwood Curve, and that led him right on the back of Chaz Draycott's defending. But it's not only Liam Atkins, you've got James Leggett as well and Jay Wright. So because there's not quite a few cars in this little pack as well. We saw it further up the field with a big pack, and we got another one here as well. So some great racing in this first Kia Club race, and Michael Hall still on the back of Maciej Sakovic. There's not been any change in those top 5 positions, but I think it will be very imminently.
So, just looking at the timing screens, it looks like we may have lost Robert Erling and also Trevor Blackburn as well. They're both in the pits with severely damaged cars, which is unfortunate for those two. They were. Trevor Blackburn, I know, was trying to just get some decent points this week, but unfortunate for him, he's in the pits at the moment. So, starting off a lap, and it's still close. Michael Hall right on the back of Maciej Sakovic, our current series leader.
Michael Hall right on the back of Sakovic, as you say, and although Michael Hall might just about keeps it onto the track there. I thought he was going to run onto the gravel there, but he hasn't. He's kept it on as I go down through the Mosses now towards the outward curve. Michael Hall braking, but Maciej Sakovic needs to take a bit more of a inside line there compared to Michael Hall. Definitely variation in the line. Whilst Michael Hall's trying to get past Sakovic, he would also Sakovic get the draft from the car in front of Matthew Bunn, but Matthew Bunn also now trying to get past Philip Johansson. So setup in these cars would be quite important as well. Obviously with the wing setting, I don't think any of them. In fact, no, because this is fixed setup, of course. I just remembered that. So mind me going on about nothing. But Philip Johansson and Matthew Bunn very close, and it's the two pairs there. But I definitely think we haven't seen the end of the action here.
You go on, it's a fixed setup, but the different driving styles the setup may suit some drivers more than others, so you've got to take that into account as well. I can tell you we've also lost Michael Jones as well. He's in the pits with his car, although it doesn't look too damaged, but he's one not running at the moment, so he won't be able to get that reverse grid position. At the moment, it's Sam Reed who'd be in line for the reverse grid pole position down there in 30th place. Yeah, 30th place for Sam Reed. So he's looking good for that reverse grid. But at the moment, at the front, it's Ben Haxon at the front, Philip Johansson in second, Matt Bunn in third, Maciej Sakovic fourth, Michael Hall fifth, and there's a bit of a gap back to John Richardson, and we've got Haochan Lee getting overtaken by Adam Gosling into the first corner, and Adam Gosling now moving up to 7th place ahead of Haochan Lee. Neil Bamber behind these two. He's trying to follow Gosling through, but not able to make it through. And Alex Bristow there just behind them. He's trying to catch up some speed, and Liam Atkins has also made it past Chaz Draycott as well. So Draycott now down to 12th place and under pressure now from James Leggett, who's making the move down the inside of Draycott into the hairpin. He's going to try and get the better run around the outside is Draycott though, and Leggett and Draycott are side by side now down this back straight. It's all going to be about the brakes into the hairpin at the end of the long back straight. Who can do it? They're getting ever so close. Draycott and Leggett getting really close to contact, but able to make it through. And who's that? That's 26. That's Jay Wright making the move on Pete Harrod down the inside. But Harrod has the inside for the left-hander. It's a double left-hander here, so Harrod in the prime place to take the inside line and to keep the position over Jay Wright.
And also you got the recovering Roy Ververke in that as well. But absolutely fantastic racing. Pete Harrod, remember at Silverstone, right at the front. It just shows that week on week that some people obviously will be near the front, but others, right onto the back of Harrod there. A little bit of contact, and that's going to allow Ververke to go through. But that's the thing about this club series, it's so unpredictable week from week.
And well, Ververke trying to hold it down the inside of Jay Wright, who had made that move. Oh, a little bit of contact there, a little bit of rubbing. Thank you very much, but Roy Ververke now up to 15th with Jay Wright in 6th place, 16th. But Jay Wright looking busy. He's trying to make that move, but he's going to take the wider line. He's gone into very deep, and into the gravel he goes Jay Wright. And that's a disaster for Jay, who's been looking to do so well. Comes out alongside, is that Tristan Bodis? It is.
Yeah, I think it is.
Tristan Bodis in the Gone Broke Racing car, trying to hold it around the outside of Jay Wright, but Jay able to stay ahead of him.
Yeah, Jay Wright just about ahead of Tristan Bodis. Jay Wright was a BSR TC Pro Series driver early in the season, so very experienced in these Kia Optimas, and he's trying to fight off Tristan Bodis now for what will be, that is Tristan Bodis down in 18th, so 17th and 18th place there. But behind them there's more cars as well, quite close together, although now Jay Wright has to go defensive because he's got the car of Tristan Bodis on his outside, not quite going to make that move stick. Jay Wright, we saw the last lap, very good going into that hairpin, although the exit though, maybe a little bit compromised, but I think he's got the inside line there, he'll just about be okay in the first section. The second section, he's not quite close enough to make the move there, Bodis.
Michael Hall has moved his way past Maciej Sakovic, so he's up to 4th place now in this race after starting in the 5th place on the grid, so able to make up 1 place in this race so far. Matt Bunn is pressuring Philip Johansson at this point of the race as well, so that battle for 2nd place is not ending at all. John Richardson is trying to catch up to the back of Magic Sakovic now, with Adam Gosling in close tow and Hyo-Chan Lee looking, just trying to look down the inside of Gosling into that first corner, not able to make that move stick. But now Neil Bamber is trying to make a move around the outside in his Gone Broke racing car, but trying to make that switch back on Hyo-Chan Lee, but that's going to be difficult to do round here at the moment. So just going through the Moss S, and now Neil Bamber trying to get the run on Hyo-Chan Lee, still not able to get past.
He had a great run though, did Neil Bamber there. I thought he had a little luck, but Hyo-Chan Lee obviously very aware of what was going on there. And that's going to allow Alex Bristow the chance to maybe get involved in this battle as well. He rounds out the top 10 and got 11th Liam Atkins, 12th James Leggett, and 13th Chaz Jaycott. Pete Howard 4th, and Roy Veuve came 15th at the moment.
Yeah, this battle for that 7th, 8th and 9th place looking to be the closest on the grid at the moment. Although saying that, Matt Bunn has caught up a little bit of time through that twisty section, and he's trying to put pressure on Johansson. But Bunn, he's got a bit of pressure from behind as well, because Michael Hall, the specialist at getting race 1 wins in these the Kia Club Series, he's in 4th place at the moment, and he's been slowly catching up to his teammate Bunn.
He's slowly catching up to Matthew Bunn, but I wonder if they do team orders in chaotic racing. I wouldn't have thought this stage of the season they would, but Michael is going to have a very, very big task if he's going to try and get another win in this race, because Ben Hackerson pulling away. Now his gap up to nearly 4 seconds, about 4.2 seconds. Michael Hall 5 seconds behind Hackerson in 4th place. So Hackerson's sort of pulling away from this field quite dramatically at the moment, and everyone else battling behind. Hackerson keeping his head down and making it look a lot easier than it probably is in that cockpit.
4.5 seconds Hackerson leads this race by. It is an absolute masterclass from Hackerson. But meanwhile, behind, Matt Bunn looking around the outside of Johansson into the hairpin. You can maybe get on the power a little bit earlier to get a better run, but Johansson keeps that tighter line. Bunn now needs to get into the draft. He needs to get into that slipstream, but he's going now down this back straight. They're absolutely neck and neck. Michael Hall's trying to just watch and wait to see what happens. Bunn is alongside Johansson, but decides to brake a little bit earlier. And, well, Johansson, for the time being, keeping that 2nd place.
Yeah, Johansson keeping that 2nd place, but these 2 chaotic racing cars behind look very eager to get past them at the moment, which could be rather worrying for the Club 73 driver. Behind them is the car of Magic Sakovic, under a lot of pressure now from John Richardson. So John Richardson, and behind Adam Gosling getting on the grass. So his fan club may not be too happy about that, because he may lose position here, but Hyo-Chan Lee can't quite get down the inside, but Adam Gosling goes wide, but he should just about hold on to that position for now on the inside. And behind him, there is Hyo-Chan Lee, Neil Bamber, and Alex Bristow. Although Chang Lee has a very good run there, and he's going to go past on the outside, I think. Although Gosling has the inside line. They come into the final corner now. This 3-car battle really heating up. Hyo-Chan Lee trying to go round the outside. If he can get the better run out, he will be alongside, but Neil Bamber trying to get a part of this as well, so this could be interesting when they get to the first corner.
Will we get 3 wide? Neil Bamber's looking to make it 3 wide going into the first corner. Adam Gosling just drops in behind Hyo-Chan Lee. Neil Bamber looking down the inside through turn 1 of Gosling. We've got Alex Bristow behind these two looking. He's caught up to these two now, but Neil Bamber trying to go around the outside in his Gone Broke racing car. Oh, just almost a little bit of contact between the two. Gosling now on the outside going into this right-hand hairpin. He's gonna surely lose the position to Bamber, who's late on the brakes. Bamber, though, keeping it tight on the inside. Gosling just having to drop in behind Bamber, and in that lap, Gosling has lost 2 places there. And, well, in front of them, you've got John Richardson as well. He's battling away with Magic Sakovic, who I noticed has quite a heavy piece of damage on the front right, as Bamber now looking down the inside of Gosling, because Gosling had made the run down the outside. Gosling's got the inside for the next 2 left-handers, though. Can he make the move stick? Down through the first left-hander, down through the second left-hander now. Gosling still on the inside, Bamber on the outside. Will they leave room? Yes, they will. Gosling now going into this left-handed hairpin, but you can hang it out around the outside, Neil, if you just don't go too wide, which unfortunately he does, and that's allowed Alex Bristow to have a look now around the outside of Bamber.
Although he just about gets it back though, Bamber, on the inside of Hobbs Corner. So now that means Neil Bamber will retain that position. Luckily for him, he hasn't lost out too much effort going wide, but unfortunately, he couldn't quite make that move stick. But Neil Bamber now is staying where he is. But it looks like John Richardson definitely not giving Magic Sagowitz any time to any breathing space as such. And we know that Magic has a little bit of damage on that car as well, on that right hand side. It definitely looks like he's had a bit of a biff.
Matt Bunn back up to second place, so he's made his way past Philip Johansson. Maybe he's looked after his tyres a little bit more than Johansson. We're into the final 2 minutes. This race has flown by. And we've got John Richardson looking desperate now, trying to get past Sakovic, but really, this is really good points for him, though. Okay, you're behind the championship leader at the moment, but he's got the better run out of that hairpin. Maybe that damage is telling now. But Richardson having to dart back in behind Sakovic just to try and get that slipstream, and now he's on the outside. You got behind them Gosling defending from Bamber as well. Richardson looking round the outside of Sakovic. Can he make this move? Stick around the outside. I think
he will, you know.
He could do, because he's got the inside for the next two corners. Almost contact between the two, but Richardson forcefully makes his way through past Sakovic. Sakovic won't give that one up yet, but those two are still battling away. We've still got Adam Gosling still ahead of Neil Bamber, who's ahead of who's behind Hyo-Chan Lee, should I say. We've still got this battle up at the front, well, not right at the front, because 6.6 seconds Ben Hackerson leads by. Matt Bunn in second, Phil Johansson third, with Michael Hall in fourth place. Can Hall keep up the 100% record of being on the podium in the first race of each week? We'll have to wait and see, but Richardson now looks to be pulling away from Sakovic, and this battle between Gosling and Bamber is just going on and on. We're on to the final lap of this race as well, and anything could happen yet.
Yeah, so many battles. Don't know where to put the camera at the moment, but yeah, Michael Hall looking for a space on the podium. John Richardson pointing away a lot from Magic Sagowitz. So I think the damage from Magic, the championship leader, may be definitely hampering him a little bit, and he's got to be careful because he's got Hyo-Chan Lee, Adam Gosling, and Neil Bamber. So Chung Lee has gone past Adam Gosling somewhere there as well.
So Chan Lee there in that seventh place. You've got Gosling in eighth. Neil Bamber right behind him in ninth, trying to get the better run out of that hairpin is Neil Bamber. It does look like he's maybe got the slipstream here. So can he make it count? You've got Alex Bristow looking busy behind as well. We've got battles all over the track, but this is the one to look at. Into that hairpin, and well, Bamber having to just stay behind. And meanwhile, Ben Hackerson, it's an absolute masterclass of how to run around this Okayama International Circuit. He's coming towards the end of the lap. Matt Bunn's pulled out a little bit of a gap on Johansson, who's made contact with Michael Hall. Michael Hall just into the back of Johansson on the brakes, and well, Michael Hall's looking around the outside. He's trying to make that cutback work, and he's keeping it round the outside now as well. Ben Hackerson is coming through to win this race as he goes across the line to win it. But it's second place.
Johansson's pushed.
Contact with Johansson and Hall. Matt Bunn in second, Hall in third, keeping his 100% record of podiums in the first race. Johansson in fourth, John Richardson coming through in fifth, with Sakovic in sixth, only just ahead of Hyo-Chan Lee in seventh, with Adam Gosling in eighth, Neil Bamber in ninth, and Alex Bristow making up the top 10, Liam Atkins in 11th, James Leggett in 12th, Chaz Draycott finishing in 13th place. He won't be happy with that. Roy Viverke really won't be happy with 14th after starting on the front row of the grid. Christopher Sherburn in 15th, with Pete Harrod in 16th. 17th with Tristan Bodis. 18th was Jay Wright, 19th Clinton Bell, Neil Rocks rounding out your top 20, and then in 21st Jim Flanagan, 22nd Marcus Hagman, 23rd Charlie Richardson, 24th Max Wright, 25th Perry Warburton, Ben Warburton just finishing outside the points in 26th, with Dennis Sherp in 27th, David Crozier in 28th, 29th is Stuart Atkinson, and in 30th place and on the lead lap, so therefore on pole position for the next race, it's Sam Reed, with Robert Erling and Trevor Blackburn ending up one lap down. And we had also Michael Jones 2 laps down, and Ian Roskell, well, he had those technical issues to start with and unfortunately wasn't able to get out there. But our race winner in this first race, Ben Hackerson, by 6.6 seconds. It's been a long time since, well, we've not seen a dominating performance like that in any of the races so far in the series this season.
Yeah, Benjamin Hackson providing an absolutely fantastic drive there. I think that's probably one of the best drives I've seen Ben race in a long time. So very well done to Ben there. He managed to get the lead from the start, kept it a light to flag victory really, and Benjamin Hackson there showing to the Pro Series drivers and teams what we know he can do, but showing it on the good stage here as well. Matthew Bunn, a very good performance for him as well. Second, Michael Hall and Philip Johansson. That was a bit of a tasty one at the end there. I think Johansson and Hall maybe a little bit of retaliation there. I don't think Johansson really wanted Hall to get past him, but good racing there. And I think the standard of racing was very good in this one. There was a lot of side-by-side racing as well, but there wasn't so much contact as we've seen before. But of course, this is race one, and race two is where the intensity gets turned up a little bit more, shall we say?
Yeah, absolutely. With that reverse grid, and it's as we've said, it's not the easiest place to overtake is Okayama. We have seen overtaking happen here, but these drivers are really going to have to be careful coming through from 30th on the grid and a 34-car grid. That's practically the whole grid being reversed there. So it's going to be interesting racing. But Sam Reed, if you're him, you must be either rubbing your hands with joy at being on pole position or dreading it because you've got all those cars behind trying to make it past you.
Yeah, as you say before, it's either one or the other. So hopefully Sam Reed will be able to. Obviously, finishing 30th from race one, he's got a very, very good chance of finishing higher, but he's got to try and keep out of trouble, which is the thing to do. It's just a really hard thing we've seen in the second race before. But I like the second race because we see names that we don't usually see up the front putting in noteworthy performances. So hopefully we'll see the same again this time, as people like the Warburtons. They're quite high up the field as well for the second race. They'll be starting 5th and 6th. That's Perry and Ben. Sponsored by Warburton's Bread. I hope they haven't used their vouchers yet, because but yeah, we've got those two there. You got Max Wright as well. We saw him do very well at Silverstone as well. Jim Flanagan, he's also in the second races been quite fighty as well. So in that top 10 there are some quite interesting names, shall we say. Clinton Bell as well, just outside of that.
Absolutely. So we're looking forward to an exciting second race here on Apex Racing TV. It's the Kia Club Series. That was round 5. We've got round 6 coming up shortly. And of course, the Kia Club Series brought to you by Club 73 Karting and XL Designs. We'll be back shortly for the second race of the evening in just a few moments after these commercials. So stay there. You won't want to miss this second race.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides it into 4, who's gonna be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Hello and welcome back to the BSR Kia Club Series here live on Apex Racing TV. I'm Paul Smith, alongside me is Dan Blake, and of course the series is brought to you in association with Club 73 Karting and XL Designs. And well, just before we start this second race of the evening, we've of course got on Thursday night the penultimate round of the BSR TC Championship. It's been a long old season, started in mid-March, and we're coming down to the final two rounds. Of course, we're in the showdown, and anything could still happen in the championship. So, Dan, I know I'm looking forward to racing in it. How about yourself, Dan?
I'm really looking forward to it. We had a mega week for Engine Order at last week, and it really fills me with pride. Over 900 points as a team really got us back into the hunt. And these last two races in Sebring and the finale at Daytona, I'm just buzzing for it. I race in the Hyundai Coupe Cup, obviously, but this is something I'm really looking forward to, almost as much as when I'm really racing. It's spectacular. It's the end of the season. We've done almost 9 months of it. It's coming right to the end, right to the wire. This is, as far as the intensity, passion and all that goes, this is about, as far as sim racing goes, I think this probably is. This feel like I'm in a pro series. Well, it's a pro series as such, but it's just got that real feeling, end of season feeling about it, and I think it's something that's going to be really exciting to watch, and I fully recommend you people tuning in and watching me and Paul in action and all the rest of the Pro Series drivers.
Absolutely. Thursday night at about 8:15, the coverage starts here on Apex Racing TV YouTube channel, and also on the iRacing Twitch channel. But of course, we've got the Kia Club Series race, and we saw an exciting first race here at Okayama International Circuit. And well, the reverse grid, Sam Reed is going to be on pole position. It's going to be interesting how this one turns out, Dan.
Yeah, we said before, Adam Reed, he's either going to be very excited or certain parts of anatomy will be twitching like a rabbit's nose. So that'll be we'll see what happens there. And as I said before, we've got people like Max Wright also, Jim Flanagan, those sort of drivers in the top 10 who, if they get the rub of the green, could pull off a bit of a interesting result. So definitely looking forward to this. Second race is the highlight, I think, of the BSR Club Series. The race meetings, I think the last two have been so action packed that we probably miss half the things that are going on because we're too busy focusing on not on the wrong things as such, but it's just action packed, and I can't see this second race of the season here at Okayama being any different, and hopefully we won't see the safety car. We've seen one of those this season, and Brands Hatch, that caused a bit of problems, so hopefully we won't see the safety car again and we can get this one going cleanly and not fairly, but I think there's going to be some firm driving going on as well. So definitely one for us to have many eyes on, I think.
So yeah, this second race we could see plenty of door bashing. We could see bumpers getting crumpled and paintworks getting scratched, but it's part of being a touring car series. You know, we see it in the BTCC in real life. The touring cars, they do have a certain amount of rubbing, you know, because the rubbing is racing in touring cars.
Oh, exactly. I mean, you see Ashley Sutton in the Pro Series bringing that mentality as well. Hopefully he gets a touring car drive next year. Very quick driver, but I think people like Ashley Sutton bring that sort of Rubbins racing mentality into iRacing as well, and that also spices up the racing quite a bit in the Pro Series. But in the Club Series there'll be drivers as well who maybe a little bit more. We see Michael Horby and Alex Bristow, this chaotic. Interestingly enough, I think they are sort of driver coached by Ashley Sutton a little bit as well, so I don't know if he's told them to stick their elbows out a little bit, but yeah, I think we'll see, as you say, touring car racing. We saw it at Silverstone, door banging action, a bit of bumper humping, all sorts going on really. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully we'll have some good racing as well.
So yes, just like I say, we're just in the warm up at the moment. Ben Hackerson in the warm up again, setting the times to beat. But it's a very different prospect for Ben. He's starting 30th on the grid, and it's a lot of cars, 29 other cars to try and get through to be able to win this second race. I think. Do you think he'll either go with the mentality of just try and gain some good points, or will he be going all out and try and get to the front?
I know I say this every week, but I think in these sort of races, you just got to try and survive. I know that's probably sounds a little bit saying you're starting 30th, but there's a lot that happens in these second races, and I think just staying out of trouble is going to get you a top 15, perhaps top that sort of area. So I think for someone like Ben Hackerson, he dominated the first race. There's no problems about that. He actually dominated that first race, and I think for him to have a good points total, I think he just stays out, maybe a little bit aggressive, but I think on the whole, even these second races, it's not so much about your speed, it's about your racecraft, as I say every week.
I did say in the last race that the points went down to 25th. I was incorrect. It is actually 26th that the points go down to. So just only a few drivers will miss out on scoring points in this race. But as we say, we've got some hard chargers starting from near the back with Matt Bunn right in front of Ben Hackerson. There's Michael Hall as well. Philip Johansson, who was getting the old shoulder out on Michael Hall towards the end of that last race. He's starting at the back there as well. So quite a few drivers, because at the end of the day they want to get to the front, but they've also got to beat each other as well, which isn't the easiest thing to do.
No, Michael Hall and Magic Sagowitz, all these top runners, they very close on these second race grids, and that's also part of the beauty of it. They have to go through the traffic, but they've also got to try and keep their adversaries behind you at a similar pace to them. So I think the race is going to start very shortly there. So we'll look forward to this, which is the 6th round of the BSR Club Series.
So it's Sam Reed on pole with Stuart Atkinson in second, David Crozier in third with Dennis Sherp in fourth, Ben Warburton and Perry Warburton, so all Warburtons bred third row even, in fifth and sixth with Max Wright and Charlie Richardson 7th and 8th, Marcus Hagman in 9th with Jim Flanagan in 10th place. Neil Rock's just down in 11th place there. Clinton Bell, one of the fast riders, he's in 12th. He didn't have the best of first races. Jay Wright in 13th as well with Tristan Bodis in 14th. Pete Harrod in 15th with Christopher Sherburn in 16th on the grid. We're almost ready for the start of this race. Have you got any ideas as to who could win this race?
Oh, that's hard. That's a hard one. I do think that I think it'll be someone we don't usually see at the front. Let's put it like that.
Okay, so as we get ready now, the red lights are going to come on here. The driver's ready for another 20 minutes of Kia Club Series here on Apex Racing TV. And the revs rise and away we go. And it's a good start from the front by Sam Reed. He's made an excellent start to get away. He's going to the inside trying to cut off any possible move. And well, we're just hoping that everyone gets through. There's a bit of contact on David Crozier's off in the gravel. Everyone else, though, can they all make it through this? One of the eye-glazing cars has got a bit of damage as well. And the 27, that is Max Wright, I believe. He's gone sideways. We've got Adam Gosling, I believe, in the wall. That's a disaster for him.
Oh, but the chat was exploded. Oh, there's another car off as well, further ahead. That was a massive hit into the wall there on the run down to the corner before the hairpin.
Christopher Sherburn sideways as well into the walls.
Marcus Hagman, I think, who took the massive hit. Yeah, it was Marcus Hagman. So all action here.
Magic Sakovic is in the walls. Well, that's huge for the championship. He's had an awful start. Roy Viverke has got a huge amount of damage.
Carl Crabbin as well, Marcus Hagman. It's just...
Haya Chan Lee, Matthew Bunn, he's got a lot of damage as well.
Another bit of contact there in a hairpin. That's Robert Erling and Trevor Blackburn. But it seems, we say about survival, but even Hackerson's got a lot of damage as well.
Michael Hall, a huge amount of damage on the front of his car, but still, we haven't had a safety car, so that's a good start so far. Although up at the front, they're banging and bashing through the hairpins. Alex
Bristow off as well now through the gravel, almost hitting Chaz Drake. No, that's Ben Hackerson nearly hit there, but yeah, this is frantic. That's one word to use.
Well, one person that isn't frantic for is Sam Reed. He's out at the front by a second and a half. He's ahead of the car of Stuart Atkinson. He's in second place with Dennis Sherp in third. The Warburtons are in fourth and fifth, so they've moved up at the start. Max Wright in sixth place. Charlie Richardson seventh with Neil Rock up in 8th place at the moment. Tristan Bodis trying to fight his way through in 9th. You've got Clinton Bell and Jay Wright side by side. Clinton Bell's just blown up his engine.
Yeah, I saw the engine smoke there. Clinton Bell, a very rare mistake for him. That's a blown engine. That'll be him kissing his race goodbye. Very, very unfortunate there, because I picked him out at the end of race 1 maybe as one of the cars that could stand out, but a lot of damage to that one as well.
So unfortunate there for Clinton Bell at the front. Stuart Atkinson and Dennis Sherpa side by side going down the back straight into the hairpin. Can Stuart Atkinson hold the place, or will Dennis Sherp take it? It is Dennis Sherp, who takes that place up to second place ahead of Stuart Atkinson. Now the Warburtons, they're looking busy. They're trying to get their way through like hot knife through butter. They're trying to go through. I do apologise for the poor jokes, but it's Max Wright in 7th place with Charlie Richardson. Oh no, 6th place, sorry. Charlie Richardson in 7th. And it's, well, as we said earlier, it's action all the way through.
And also, as I said before, it's drivers we don't usually see fighting at the front, and that's a beauty of race 2. Although Max Wright, we saw him last week have a top 5 finish, so Max Wright, we say Michael Hall was the expert at race 1, Max Wright starting to prove he's pretty handy at these second races at the moment.
But it is Sam Reed just running onto the gravel a little bit on the exit, that final corner. He is in the lead. He is still in the lead by, he's now 2.3 seconds ahead. So Sam Reed doing a fantastic job there out in the lead. We've got the Warburtons trying to fight with each other. It's Ben in front of Perry, but it's still action all the way through. We've got Tristan Bodis at the front of Neil Rocks and a whole gaggle of cars there. And it's Adam Gosling that's involved in there, along with Jay Wright, Liam Atkins, and John Richardson and James Leggett.
Yeah, some big names there, and hopefully these Warburton brothers don't turn into brown bread. They can fight cleanly and not have any incidents, unfortunately, but we'll see what happens there with those two. Yeah, they've gone through like a hot knife through butter. Now hopefully they don't take each other out.
Liam Atkins is looking busy on the back of Adam Gosling, and he's trying to follow Jay Wright through down the inside of Neil Rocks, because Neil Rocks is at the front of this pack, and it just maybe appears to be a little bit of a corkscrew there. But into the inside now, it's Jay Wright down the inside of Neil Rocks. Neil Rocks runs wide, so that lets Adam Gosling come alongside, but he's on the outside for these two left-handers now. Gosling runs onto the dirt. Liam Atkins is right behind. He's looking busy. Of course, the race 2 winner from last week at Silverstone, he's trying to get some good points for his team. We've got behind them, Chaz Draycott seems to be having some issues with his connection there, but still through, it is close between these two. John Richardson doing a fantastic job getting up on the back of Liam Atkins. Started 26th, he's up to 13th already, is John Richardson. Adam Gosling started 23rd, he's up to 11th. So fantastic work from them. But still, they've got ground to make up yet, and it's not going to be easy past these cars, because these cars are spreading out now at the front.
They're spreading out, of course, but also there's some quite big names getting quite high up the field. You've got Michael Hall just outside the top 15. He's gone Alex Bristow behind him. Got Chaz Draycott, Liam Atkins is up in the top 12 as well, but they're quite a way back from the leading pack. They're 10 seconds plus behind. So Sam Reed, Adam Gosling there. That was very close racing between himself and Neil Rocks, and Gosling is going to have the inside line here, and he's going to make that one work pretty easily. So that's another position gain there for Adam Gosling. He's now up into the top 10, and Adam Gosling, you've raced 1, race 2, he always seems to be lurking around that top 10 area.
Absolutely. So Adam Gosling with his huge fan club on the YouTube channel, they'll be cheering him on. Liam Atkins is now having a look on the inside of Neil Rocks into this hairpin. Liam Atkins very, very late on the brakes. I thought he was going to go into the back of Gosling then, but manages to make that move stick. But again, Neil Rocks runs wide out of that hairpin and just cuts in front of the car of John Richardson, and behind him James Leggett was just having a little bit of a look down the inside of Richardson, but that's compromised him onto this little short straight between the hairpins, and Michael Hall with that ridiculously damaged car on the front end is already up to 16th place and is trying to get past Chaz Draycott, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, that car looks like it's been hit from all angles, behind and front. It's been involved in a massive crash there, and as we see at the front, the Warburton brothers have managed to get up a position. That's the car of Ben Warburton, has gone past Stuart Atkinson now into 3rd place. So Ben Warburton on the podium, but Perry Warburton also in the heat of battle. He's got Max Wright and Charlie Richardson, but catching these guys very quickly is Tristan Bodis, Jay Wright and Adam Gosling. So the two Wright brothers may be coming into combat as well, along with the Warburtons pretty soon.
And it's a lot easier if you've got teammates doing the battle, you're able to look after each other through the race. But as we say, Ben Warburton making it up into 3rd place. Can he now make a break for it away from Stuart Atkinson? But Stuart Atkinson trying to get the get the toe from Ben Warburton. Behind them, Gosling is alongside, that is
Jay Wright.
Jay Wright. Yes, he's alongside him, looking down the inside into the hairpin. Jay Wright giving him the room, giving him the space, and a little bit too much space there, you'd feel, because Adam Gosling has gone down the inside and taken the place.
Nice move there from Adam Gosling. I can hear the cheers from here from the YouTube channel. So Gosling's next target is going to be Tristan Bottas. And now on the back of that pack now from about third place back.
Oh, contact up front, up ahead of them, just into the braking zone. So cars all getting a bit bunched now again. This battle for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh and 8th, they're all together. You could put a blanket over these cars, they're that close together. As now out the final corner, once again they go, and it is, well, actually Ben Warburton's making a break for it here. He's managed to pull out a second gap over Stuart Atkinson, and Perry Warburton now looking to the inside but not able to make a move on Stuart Atkinson, just a little bit too far behind, but stating his intention early, as behind them you've got Max Wright under intense pressure from Charlie Richardson.
Yeah, so Max Wright under pressure from Charlie Richardson, Tristan Bottas also a part of this, but I also think the lead gap is starting to shrink a little bit. Dennis Sherp got to the gap to Sam Reed, now 2.6 seconds, and we're still just under the halfway point of the race. I think it's time now with these faster guys coming by, it's going to be like unleash the hounds. I think Sam Reed will have a lot of pressure in the closing stages of this race, because some of the faster guys are definitely coming through, and they're coming through at quite a rate of knots.
Perry Warburton making the move up into 4th place ahead of Stuart Atkinson. I thought he might have outbraked himself into that hairpin, but manages to make it stick. So now the Warburtons are in 3rd and 4th place, as Stuart Atkinson just falling back in this race. He started in 2nd place, now down to 5th. He's got Max Wright now for company, he's the next one. But you just look at this whole gaggle of cars that's coming towards them. You've got Liam Atkins in there, Jay Wright, you've got John Richardson, James Leggett. They're all slowly catching up to this group of cars at the front.
Yeah, Adam Gosling's the one making the moves, so he's trying to get past Tristan Bottas now, so he is right on the back of that battle pack for the top 4-5 positions here, from 4th, 5th back, and Gosling had to be a bit slower there through the corner, so he didn't go into the back of Bottas, and there's you got some action for us there, Paul.
Yeah, Neil Rocks and Chaz Draycott are going side by side. There's Alec Bristow involved there. Michael Hall has made it past Neil Rocks on this lap, so he's moved up a position as well. But Chaz Draycott now looking to the inside into turn 1 on Neil Rocks. Can he make the move stick? Chaz Draycott down the inside. Oh, he's having some connection problems there as well. That's not going to help matters for trying to overtake these drivers. As well, Neil Rocks, it's really difficult when you've got a car that's blinking away that you can't see sometimes.
I think it's one of the scariest things on iRacing, to be honest, because you just don't know where they're going to pop up next. We've seen incidents before where next time you see them is when they're inside your car and then there's a massive crash. So I think those drivers around Draycott will be very wary of that sort of thing happening.
Alec Bristow, though, trying to make the move on Neil Rocks, but Neil Rocks isn't going to give up that place without a fight on Chaz Draycott. And look behind! Philip Johansson suddenly darting out from behind Bristow. He's going down the inside of Bristow. Can he make that move stick? Philip Johansson, yes, he does. So he makes a place up there. Does Johansson up to 17th place now? But at the front, as you say, that gap is closing up. It's now only 1.5 seconds between Sam Reed and Dennis Sherp. So Dennis Sherp is certainly a man on the move.
Yeah, Dennis Sherp, we haven't really seen much of him this season, but he's certainly making a stake in the claim that he is still about. Same as Sam Reed in that Club 73 car. Club 73 not actually having too bad of a race apart from the Clinton Bell problems.
We've got an accident at the penultimate corner, I think.
Well,
there was a lot of tyre smoke anyway, with cars flying off, but everyone's still going. But I can tell you that Stuart Atkinson's just falling back down through this race, this pack now, because he's dropped back down to 10th place now. So he's lost a lot of places on that last lap. But it's because he lost places to Max Wright, Charlie Richardson, Tristan Bottas, Adam Gosling. So yeah, it's also Jay Wright as well. So Stuart Atkinson just not having the best of laps that last lap.
No, unfortunately that can happen sometimes, and when they're so close together, you make one mistake, you can lose 2 or 3 places, or you can lose momentum, which then causes you to lose more places, unfortunately. So Stuart Atkinson, the unfortunate victim of that. But at the front, that gap is definitely coming down now between Sam Reed and Dennis Sherp.
Yeah, Dennis Sherp obviously smells blood in the water. He's trying to make that move in that team superior car as he's slowly gaining on Sam Reed. He was 9/10 of a second faster on that last lap over Sam Reed, so really able to get the bit between the teeth and make that move forward. As we look further back, there's all action going on. You've got John Richardson trying to get past Stuart Atkinson now into the hairpin. You've got James Leggett is there as well, Liam Atkins, Michael Hall now is stuck behind the back of this pack, and with the amount that he's got on that car, you would have thought that maybe he hasn't got that many instant points left in this race to be able to make either go off track or make a little bit of contact, as John Richardson now making the move on Stuart Atkinson out of that final corner.
Yeah, Stuart Atkinson under attack, but yeah, from that car alone and Michael Hall, I can think there's at least 8 instant points he's managed to accumulate out of the 12 I believe they get in this series, so that is equivalent to 3 car contacts, and I'd say for the damage on the front and the rear is probably on at least 8. Speaking of contact, that's Liam Atkins pushing around Stuart Atkinson, although Atkinson would recover, but he's going to use a couple of places there, and Chaz Draycott will be the next beneficiary.
Well, Michael Hall is a huge beneficiary of that, because that's just gained him 2 places there. So thank you very much, Sunshine, for getting me past you two. So his next target is James Leggett, but as we say, Stuart Atkinson just fallen
side by side, the 3 wide, Rox Johansson and the car of Alex Bristow. They sorted it out, but Johansson was very deep into the final corner onto the back straight, but they've managed to sort themselves out. Although Bristow's going to try and have a look down the inside of Neil Rox there. Bristow late on the brakes, good braking from Alex Bristow, and he's going to make that position up as well. So
Tristan Boddice going past one of the Warburtons. That's Perry Warburton. He's made it past. So Perry Warburton has dropped some ground here. He's down to 7th place and he's under attack from Adam Gosling. Adam Gosling doing a fantastic showing here. John Richardson looking down the inside of Jay Wright now. So a lot of damage on that front right of Perry Warburton's car. He's go deep into that hairpin. Warburton's going to lose another place. That to Jay Wright, and well, under intense pressure, and in fact Warburton pits, so he's got that too much damage there.
That's unfortunate, but at the front, they're nose to tail. Dennis Sherp crosses the line about a 10th behind, and now Sherp going to go to the outside of Sam Reed. Not quite going to do it, but really try and get the switch back. I don't think he's going to be able to do it there, but Dennis Sherp all over the back, and if they carry on batting, that's going to allow the car of Ben Warburton to get involved as well. But I think Dennis Sherp, it's just a matter of when, not if, because there's still about 5 minutes to go of this race, but Dennis Sherp piling on the pressure now on the back of Sam Reed.
Well, Dennis Sherp will surely be aware. He'll surely see on his little relative box that that there are faster guys coming through the field now, and that it's now or never really to make that move and to try and pull away, as he's looking, darting left and right, trying to get that slipstream from Sam Reed. Sam Reed, who's led every lap of this race so far, but coming under intense pressure. But well, as the great Murray Walker used to say, catching is one thing, but passing is quite another thing.
Especially Okayama, we said that before, that that happens. So it's something that'd be interesting to see if he can make it. I think he will make it stick, but Ben Warburton is really going to be trying to catch these two up, and I think he'll be with them by the end of this lap, because they're definitely slowing each other down.
And Adam Gosling has made another place up now. He's up to 6th place ahead of Tristan Boddice. So Boddice losing a place in this lap. It's still absolute just mayhem behind them. Michael Hall's in the middle of that. He's up to 11th from 28th on the grid. You got John Richardson just in front of him, started 26th, is now 10th. So some really good running from these faster drivers. But at the front, Sam Reed having to go defensive down the pit straight. Dennis Sherp just having a look, but not quite close enough to make that move. A little bit of contact from Dennis Sherp, trying to push his way through. Sam Reed runs wide because of that little bit of contact, but is able to keep his place. And Ben Warburton, well, he's just catching these two up, and he's saying, thank you very much, keep on battling, boys.
I am sure Warburton's liking this, and definitely getting a bit less patient now as the car of Dennis Sherp, Sam Reed, slowing him down a little bit. He knows that Warburton's catching up, and Max Wright, and then you've got that pack coming out. Adam Gosling up into 6th place, and he is only 6.6 seconds behind the leader, but I think it's a little bit too late for one of these established top 10 runners to make a big impression. It is going to be one of these drivers that we don't really hear much about in race 1, like Sam Reed, Sherp, Warburton, Max Wright. They're the ones I think who could get the big finishes, but just like the first, it's not like the first race at all. Hackerson dominated race 1, but I think race 2 we're definitely going to have a fight at the top end this time.
If you're wondering what's happened to Hackerson, he is down in 22nd place, of course, getting involved in that first lap incident and ended up in the wall. So he's got a lot of damage on his car, but he's still down there in 22nd place. It's still an improvement on where he started in 30th, but it's not the improvement he would have wanted. But this battle at the front, there's 2.5 minutes remaining in this race, so we may get a couple more laps yet in this one, because they're doing about 1 minute and 35, 36 at the moment in this race. But Ben Warburton certainly has caught up, because he's now only about 0.8 of a second behind Dennis Sherp, and he's on a move as well.
Yeah, Sherp got down in turn 1, tried to make the same move as Sam Reed, but Sam Reed did well to defend it. The battle between the top 3 now down to just 1.2 seconds, and the top 3 are definitely slowing themselves down. Max Wright, Charlie Richardson and Adam Gosling catching up. Gosling now just 5.2. They're catching about a second a lap, but with just about 2 minutes to go, they're not going to catch them quickly enough, but this is what we're looking for now. Dennis Sherp seems to have a better run here than Sam Reed. This could be where the move's made, and a little banging doors there. This is touring car action at its finest. It could be Plato and Neil here, but it's Sherp and Reed banging doors. Of course, Anthony Reed, a well-known touring car name from the past as well, so a little bit of an iconic touch there. But Dennis Sherp down the inside of the hairpin. Sam Reed's led this whole race so far, but right at the end he's going to be crudely twisted of that victory. It looks like he's going to try and make a move back, but I think even he knew that would be a bit too optimistic.
So Dennis Sherp takes the lead of this round 6 metre race of this Kia Club Series, brought to you by Club 73 Karting and XL Designs. Now Ben Warburton looking busy. Sam Reed goes into the back of Sherp under the braking zone, just not getting his braking quite right, and that's putting him under intense pressure from Ben Warburton, who's looking to make the move down the inside. You can't really make the move stick around there, so he cuts back in and decides against it, because you can have a very big accident through that penultimate corner, and still the battles rage on further back. Charlie Richardson is in 5th place behind Max Wright, but he's run wide, so Adam Gosling is making the move on Charlie Richardson now, with Tristan Bodis right behind those two as well. You've got James Leggett is under intense pressure from John Richardson there as well, and Adam Gosling looking down the inside of Charlie Richardson.
Oh, that front, sorry to interrupt, but at the front they're bashing again. Reed onto the back of Dennis Sherp, Warburton getting involved as well. Those 3 cars are starting to look decidedly second hand, especially the car of Sam Reed, and across the grass he's trying absolutely everything. Sam Reed gonna go round. Oh, 3 car collision. Warburton hit Sam Reed into Sherp. That sent Sherp round, and Ben Warburton's taking the lead. That is very controversial, I think, there, Paul.
Well, the stewards may want to have a look at that one. It's not our place to decide who was right and who was wrong, because this action is still going on. Sam Reed is still there with Ben Warburton. He can smell the lead now. He's going to look the inside into the hairpin, but he's going to be on the outside for these 2 left-handers. But we've seen cars keeping it out there to be able to make the move, but it's the cut in. He's trying to get the cut back, but it's just not quite close enough to make that work. Behind them, you've got James Leggett and Liam Atkins. Look like they've both been disqualified as well.
Jay Wright as well.
Yeah, Jay Wright as well. Stuart Atkinson, he's not carried on, so he's out of the race as well. It's all action on his final lap. There's contact between Tristan Bodis and Charlie Richardson, and at the front is going to be Ben Warburton coming through the penultimate corner now. Can he keep this lead? It's a very, very controversial move, shall we say, but Ben Warburton out that final corner. He's going to go across the line and sideways. Tristan Bodis and Charlie Richardson sideways, but it's Ben Warburton who wins this second race of the evening. Sam Reed in 2nd place, with Max Wright in 3rd. Adam Gosling amazing up to 4th place from 23rd on the grid. Charlie Richardson in 5th place. 6th place with Tristan Bodis. 7th Dennis Sherp. 8th John Richardson from 26th on the grid, so good run from him. Alex Bristow in 9th place. Chas Draycott in 10th. 11th place with Neil Rocks, 12th place with Philip Johansson, 13th Michael Jones, from the last place on the grid to 13th. That's a good effort from Michael. Robert Erling in 14th, Trevor Blackburn in 15th, David Crozier in 16th. He just couldn't quite hang on to it after starting in 3rd place. Ian Roskell in 17th on the place. Ben Hackerson ended up finishing 18th. Marcus Hagman 19th. Perry Warburton 20th. Matt Bunn finished 21st. That's not a good result for him, really. Would have thought he would have moved up further. Pete Harrod in 22nd, Hai-Chan Lee in 23rd, Roy Ververke in 24th. They're still coming across the line. Christopher Byrne in 25th, and like we say, James Leggett and Liam Atkins both out. Neil Bamber has just come across the line as well. So where does he show us finishing? We don't know. We haven't to wait for that to cycle through on the screen here.
26th for Neil
Yeah, so
Bamber.
26th was Neil Bamber, 27th for Jim Flanagan, and it looks like we also lost Michael Hall as well. He's in the pits, so he's not going to score any points this second race. Another race where he doesn't score points, but a lot of drivers not finishing that race. We've got James Leggett, Liam Atkins, Jay Wright, Michael Hall, Stuart Atkinson, Maciej Sakovic, who was heavily into the wall on that first lap, Clinton Bell, as well, the final one of the cars to start this race, who didn't make it to the end. But, well, it was controversial, but Ben Warburton was the man who took the win, and I'm sure we'll get another look at that on your screens momentarily, because that was quite possibly the key moment of this whole race.
Yeah, I think that race was, compared to the last 2 weeks, I don't know what happened on that first lap. That'd be interesting. Oh dear, Mr. Lake's not very happy there. But yeah, I think that's... yeah, I think that it's a good race, and that move by Ben Warburton, very controversial. Unfortunately, Dennis Shirt. Where did Dennis Shirt finish in the end after that? He seemed like he was the innocent victim, really.
He finished in 7th place to Dennis.
Yeah, unfortunate for Dennis Sharp. I think the stewards will be having a look at that one. I think just Warburton misjudged his braking point, but when you're racing that close together, the three of them were probably within half a second of each other. They were nose to tail. That's when the margins for error are even more, and the slightest mistake can cause a lot of problems, as we saw there. But Max Wright in the podium position. Max Wright taking 3rd place again in a good race 2 for him. As we say, Adam Gosling 4th place from 23rd. He's a hard charger. So John Richardson, another hard charger, started in 26th, finished 8th. So there's been some good performances throughout this field as well. Alex Bristow getting top 10, Charles Jaycott 10th as well. And yeah, so the second race really, in some ways, it wasn't as eventful as the other ones we've seen so far, but I definitely think it was still exciting, and compared to what we've seen before, which has been absolute Armageddon, I think it was a little bit calmer this time, don't you think, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just seeing who's going to be available to have a word with, possibly with Ben Warburton, our race winner, if I can see him anywhere. I'm just trying to find him, and we'll bring him into the broadcast here. And so Ben Warburton, our race winner, joins us now. And, well, congratulations, Ben. That's the first win of the season. You got some good points for the team. Just talk us through what happened on that last lap into that hairpin. Oh, Ben's just a little bit quiet. I don't know if he's having a few sound problems there, maybe. Ben, can
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now, Ben.
There we go. I forgot I assigned a button to that.
So just talk us through what happened into that hairpin, just with that contact between the three of you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, that's not the way I want to win a race, but I think it was Sam was in front of me. And who was in the lead? I can't remember.
So, it was Dennis Shirt.
Dennis, yeah, and they were sort of over to the right, and I was trying to keep a nice line on the left, and I was taking a normal line, and I think Sam pulled back onto the left and anchored up as the time, just before I was about to brake, and unfortunately I've slightly tapped him, and then it caused chaos with the iRacing physics, I'm afraid.
But still, obviously, we're going by the results as they are now. It's a win. It's your first win of the season, and it's a positive result for your team as well, because it's not been the best start of the season for yourselves in the first two meetings. But this one, with this win, will certainly help you in the team championship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first race was fairly tragic, and we sort of kept an even pace in that last race. At Silverstone, we thought we'll keep it clean and just finish where we can. But yeah, not a great start to the season for us, so that will help us out.
And of course, it's Monza next week, the junior track. Have you raced there before? How do you think it'll go there?
No, not really raced there before. Well, obviously I've done Monza a few times, but not the junior version. Yeah, it should be good. The Kia's like a good draft, so it'll suit that track.
So yeah, do you feel confident that you're able to take this win and be able to push forward and use the momentum there to push forward now and get some good results moving on?
I would like to do nothing but that. The amount that I practice there means that these results aren't sort of something that would be that regular for me, but I'll take them when they come, I suppose.
Well, congratulations on the win anyway, because it is a hard fought win. You started fifth on the grid as well, so to move forward and take that win, it's a good job from yourself. So Ben Warburton, just finally, anyone that you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I mean, apologies to the two guys that were in the incident ahead of me there. I mean, I had a cracking race with Dennis in that first race. But yeah, shout out to teammate who's on every week, and he's the real person I'm racing. So yeah, cheers, Dad.
No worries, Ben Warburton there. Fantastic result for himself, finishing first place in that race. And well, I'm just having a look who's all the YouTube chat are talking, wanting a interview with Adam Gosling, but he's not available on the chat at the moment, so can't see him around. So unfortunately, we can't have a word with him. Who should we interview next, Dan?
I think we'll speak to Jim Flanagan, who's racing the BSR TC before, so we're interested to see what he thinks of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring Jim into the commentary room now. So, Dan, away you go with Jim Flanagan.
Hello, Jim. A teammate of mine from Team Yokohama, Jim Flanagan. Jim, you're racing the BSR TC before. How are you finding the Club Series so far?
Press the right button here. Press the right button, Dan. It's mixed feelings, mate. There's a few argy-bargies, and I've not had the best of luck. You got a black flag there for cutting the track, so not had the best of start, but I'm enjoying it. It's good to be back.
Yeah, as I say, it's a long time since we've seen you in the Kia, since I think it's about season 7 of the BSR TC. Just getting yourself back into it. Obviously, this is a fixed setup, and not had the best of starts to the season, but hopefully the next time we're out at Monza on the junior circuit, I just think that one's going to go for you.
Something has to go for me, Dan. If it wasn't for bad luck, I would have no luck.
Yeah, so anyone I'd like to thank? Obviously, I know your team have not had the best of starts to the season either, but hopefully things will pick up for you pretty soon.
Yeah, Trevor and Dave are the same as me. We've been pushed and pulled a wee bit of bad luck in every race so far, but we're trying. We're there trying, that's the main thing.
Thank you very much, Jim, and good luck for the rest of the season.
No problem.
So yeah, so that was Jim Flanagan there, and someone else that I want to have a quick word. I'm just looking to see if Sam Reed's around as well, because I want to have a word with him just to get his point of view there, but he doesn't appear to be available, so that's unfortunate for us. So yeah, so what we'll do, I think we'll finish up the broadcast here. Just final thoughts, Dan. It was again another exciting second race of the meeting. It seems to be the one that pulls out all the excitement for this series, but relatively clean racing apart from a couple of incidents at the start there.
I think the drivers have seen the last couple of race twos and decided they need to do something about it, and I think this was their credit to the series. They always are a credit to the series, but I think this time they especially decided that they needed to maybe be a little bit more sensible, and it produced a great race. And the second race, I said at the start of the race, I think it would be someone we don't usually see winning the race, and Ben Warburton winning from Sam Reed was certainly, although Sam Reed I think drove a fantastic race there. I know you're trying to get him for an interview, but yeah, Sam Reed led the majority of this race, and I think a run like that when you're someone who doesn't maybe finish so far up as you should do in the first race, it gives breathe you a lot of confidence going into the next few rounds. You know that you got the pace to do it in the reverse grid races. Now you just got to try and do it in the first race as such. The further up they go at the grid, I think we'll see that as this series progresses as well. I think there's quite a few drivers here who are quite new to the Kia Optima. Obviously they've got Jamie Rushworth fixed setup. Once they get used to that a little bit and driving styles, yeah, as I said before, but you see some of the drivers who do well, like Pete Harrod. he had a very good Silverstone meeting, getting pole position, and I think he had quite a good day there, but not quite so good here today, finishing 22nd in that second race. So the BSR TC Club Series very unpredictable, and it'd be interesting to see what happens at Monza. I know that there's going to be a lot of drafting, and I think that Monza is really going to be, I would say we've seen a lot of good racing so far, but Monza's just got that it's got a little bit of everything. You've got the straights, you've got that twisty section at the start as well, and you've got to hope we don't see a Macau-like crash there.
Well, that's it, because because it's a junior layout, so you don't go right down to the first chicane like you normally would. You cut in just after the pit exit into the junior section, and it's really tight through there from having watched other races through there. So that's going to be really interesting to see if we get any safety cars there. We mentioned there could have been safety cars here, but fortunately for us, no safety cars, so we were able to get a full 20 minutes of racing today. So, as we say, next week on Sunday, it is Monza Junior Circuit for this Kia Club Series in association with Club 73 Karting and XL Designs. And well, don't forget also, there's the penultimate round of the BSR TC here on Apex Racing TV and on iRacing's Twitch channel. That's on Thursday night as well, so hope you join us for that, and also this coming Sunday for the Kia Club Series. Everyone, hopefully you had a good evening, and we do hope to see you again next time. Take care.